Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. So if you're here from the short, you already have a backstory. If not, our word was inhibition. And this kind of ties into yesterday and honestly a lot of the messages that at least I put out there. And it's tying to where are we allowing a fear, a worry, a complex, something that we created to resist us from being our true self. Our supporting angel number card, important shift. Uh, we have this opportunity to release this or to become into ourselves. This goes into overcoming the challenges, mastering wisdom, discovery, spiritual journey, blessings. I think we have to start with the question of what are we seeking? And when we figure that out, we could say that's just being received well, being liked, being understood, uh, being loved in essence, being accepted. And when we change ourselves or we withhold ourselves to gain that, there's a missing piece there that yesterday I got into that if I'm withholding myself or suppressing myself to gain this, whatever I'm desiring, coming from a place of lack that I don't have, I don't feel accepted. I don't feel worthy to be accepted or loved or, whatever this is attached to. Maybe we're worried about a reputation or gossip, and we need to validate constantly, prove our point because we're being projected upon or gaslit, and it's leading with this idea of uh, they're painting a picture of me, and it's our choice whether we identify with that. And if we grab a hold of that, we're identifying with that, and we need to forcefully change that appearance to get the external to validate our truth. There is never coming from a place like that, we don't fully have that truth anymore because we allowed them to create their truth or their narrative. And normally it's coming from a poor place in that individual, but you're going up against something that can't be changed in their mind. They're in that place for a reason. And that reason uh, is more or less connected to them. But through this, it's giving us the opportunity to uh, what's coming through is rediscover ourselves in essence. If we go with this comparison game, uh, we are seeing a lot of lack in ourselves from the very beginning. But through this rediscovery, we can find out who we truly are. You're self validating through your mind during this period. But when we're chasing to prove it to the external, to get them to validate our emotions or our truth or our situation, we don't believe it enough. So this is where we're building this whole foundation inside. When if I was arguing with someone and we're debating, I'm trying to get them to believe me, to agree with me, to understand. I'm trying to sell it in essence. And through that process, I need them to get on my side to validate how I feel, to prove that I'm right. Because if I don't believe it, I need the external to show me that it's true. Otherwise, I wouldn't need to chase that if I actually did believe it. If it was my foundation. So when people say things or they behave certain ways and it's not true, or they start a chain of gossip or whatever we want to call it, uh, that's going to affect our reputation. That's going to paint a picture of us that isn't true. And when we grab a hold of that, we start to identify, we start to chase. And through that process, in essence, we can prove their narrative. If they put you in a corner and they get under your skin, and that's not really the point here. The point here is that we have a wound or a trauma or something, an insecurity in there, and we're so afraid of whatever is going to take place out there and what they say and what they think, which means it's not very strong in here. So when can we take this shift and really step away from this? When can we build it in here? When can we see that I am who I am and be strong enough in that space to not need this external to prove to us who we are, to validate, and to get to that mindset that, hey, whatever I'm seeking out there to, that I'm molding or changing myself, that attention, the acceptance, respect, love, whatever it is, why do I need it out there so bad if I don't have it in here? That's why. When I have it in here, I won't need it out there so bad. And indirectly, it comes naturally because I am it. So, whoa, whoa, whoa. All the cards blew out. That would be like the emotional outburst. The doesn't have to be anger, but it can just be a flow of emotions. This rediscovery experience that we've been suppressing ourselves for so long due to this need to, I don't want to say taint ourselves, but dampen ourselves. Got the Empress reversed. Self-focus. I'm looking at that word, self-focus. Really focusing on ourselves. And that can be a double-edged sword. Constantly how we appear, how we're received, going off of the notions of others and changing just to be accepted, or what we think they want, or what's going to uh, dampen the blow, or whatever it may be. And then the other side is what I was talking about earlier, really focusing on ourselves and not so much what the external thinks, does, says. This is for you to get to a healthy place. And I said yesterday, and it was emotionally charged, that through these experiences, if we really think about our insecurities or these wounds and how we allow them to guide us through our life, to be in charge, to make decisions for us, to suppress ourselves, we're given an opportunity here. And I'm sure it hurts, and I'm sure it doesn't feel well going through it or even acting against it. But this is an opportunity to heal it and to release it, this important shift, so we can live our life without it leading. It's like being free from this, that you've lived your whole life. Sure, if we didn't go through it, we would just live our whole life with it. This is a huge opportunity to finally be free of it. And it is our choice to do as we please with it. But the advice is clear that, hey, it's time. We got the Three of Cups reversed. Naturally, we see that whatever is out there, that external, that we're seeking reassurance from, or acceptance or validation from, isn't really what it is. It feeds the wound, it feeds the trauma, whatever. We're showing up fake as we are, because we are molding or changing ourselves to what we think that they want, or what they want to receive, or taming things down, which means whatever's coming back isn't going to be really fulfilling. It's not going to touch us where we want it to touch us, internally, emotionally. When we finally let go of that and we just present ourselves as us, we're not afraid of losing what isn't really meaningful to begin with, we actually do attract in then what it is that we truly desire and dream of and deserve. Seven of Wands. Conviction. This is walking your own path and being strong in that space, knowing who you are. That's the biggest thing. Everybody's going to have an opinion. Everybody's going to say something. Everybody's going to think whatever they're going to think. And that's normally connected to their own struggles. And we project that onto each other. And then sometimes we take ownership of that. And that's where all this comes from, these wounds and things. It's our decision to carry other people's projections, or to know ourselves and not attach with those things. We don't chase that anymore. We just are it. Three of Pentacles reversed. Ineffective team. This is going back to uh, the people in our lives were there and they did fit for the old world, our old life, our old experience. But through this transition, uh, we're on a different frequency, on a different vibration, releasing this suppression that we have allowed ourselves to be to fit in with them. We can't anymore. We won't fit. It doesn't work. There's going to be problems there. You're going to want to go back because it was comfortable. We got like a lot of the same cards, it appears. A Five of Cups, disappointment. Of course, like I said, we want to go back because it's all we ever knew and it was comfortable, but we don't fit there anymore energetically. On a soul level, we are evolving and it's trying to push you forward through this experience. And we're hanging on out of that fear. Where does that really lay within you? What is that connected to? If we don't know, what is it that we want when we are changing ourselves or suppressing ourselves just to be liked, to be understood? What is it connected to that we are holding ourselves back? I'm going to get one last card here. Well, I guess we got three. We got Two of Wands reversed. Hesitation. Again, yesterday. I get it. We're afraid. Then we got Six of Wands reversed. Setbacks. And the Seven of Pentacles. Patience. This hesitation, us holding us back, can be creating the setbacks. It very well can. But also if we make a move on it and we actually start to just be ourselves, to say what is true, and we're not chasing, we're going to need patience. And their setbacks might be us going back and forth between the two lives. It's a serious wound. We've probably carried it all of our life. Don't beat ourselves up on it and blame ourselves for falling back into certain behaviors. Uh, this is a lot to let go of and a lot to move forward and through. It is difficult alone. If there's someone you trust, uh, talk to them through it. Talk with them through this process to get that second set of eyes on the situation, because otherwise our emotions are connected to that situation. And through that process, we look for what we want to hear, and anything that goes against what we don't want or what we don't want to hear, we're going to bypass, we're going to misunderstand, or we're going to mold it into something that we do want. When I'm not saying it's bad, it's just we're missing information at times that can just delay things. So I'm going to leave this here. I felt like I was all over the place again. Hang in there. You'll get through this, and I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.